Matt, a 0-0 draw with Colchester. What did you make of the performance today?
Two good teams. I felt two good teams going at it. We started the game really well and probably had our best chances within the first 5 minutes of the first half, and then they came back into it strong. If I had to nitpick it a little bit, our delivery and our use of the ball still wasn't quite good enough at times, but that was probably due to the pressure they put us under. They played with a certain intensity which we could match in most areas, but it meant that when we used the ball or had won the ball back, we had to use it better than we did, and it would have meant there was less space on the pitch for them to utilise, because they got some very good attacking players. Second half, a much improved performance. Still probably a game where both teams were cancelling each other out to a certain extent, and then we might have had a chance towards the end, and I thought we were getting stronger as the game went on, but wasn't to be. No problem, it's very much on to the next. Like I say, Colchester are a good team. I think we showed today that we're a good team as well.
Yeah, they seem quite well organised and doubling up on Randall Williams every time he got on the ball, and seemed to nullify some of our threats going forward with that.
Yeah, like I just said, we didn't seem to have the quite in us to beat the opposition with the ball today, whether that's 1v1 with Randall, or use of the ball in terms of Nicky and our midfielders. And I just didn't feel our centre forwards got enough good quality service today. They were feeding off scraps, and then when the scraps went towards them, it felt like they weren't close enough together. And then, like I say, we never really got any field position off the back of that and any foothold in the game. But for a 0-0 draw, I think it was a good tempo of a game. You're going to get a lot of drab and dull 0-0 games, but two teams going at it, two teams wanting to win, and you just want those chances at the end to fall right. Even Archie's volley in the last kick of the game, you think if that flies in, but if we'd have won that game, I probably would stand there and be honest and say we probably didn't deserve to win it. I think a draw's a fair result.
Yeah, it was one of those games of small margins, wasn't it? And perhaps a little bit more clinical in front of goal when we had that chance. It might have nicked us the 3 points, but been a bit unfair.
Yeah, possibly. If we're going to be more clinical with our use of the ball, it was actually in the middle area of the pitch today. Like I said, I was pretty pleased with the work of our centre forwards, but I just felt they didn't get enough service today. And we've not been able to say that too much. Certainly after the first 5 minutes of the game, so not too disappointed at all. We always want to win. We always want to win at home, but we've been on a fantastic run, and that keeps the run going. I think Pearce cleared one off the line first half, and they've had some chances, and they've got some seriously good players. So content, I think the word is.
Pearce picked up the man of the match, and obviously you mentioned his goal line clearance there, and also it's still no goals conceded in 2020 as well, so it's good from a defensive point of view. Yeah,
definitely. But you sometimes draw games 0-0 and you say you didn't have a sight of their goal. I think early on we had two really good sights of their goal, and then towards the end, so started and finished well. A bit of a mess and chaos in the middle, but two teams basically butting heads against each other, and neither was taking a backward step. So a lot of improvements in terms of where we are as a football club, because like I say, Colchester have invested in that group of players really well, and that's a good squad of players, and we matched them today. We just weren't fortunate enough to come away with the points.
Set piece is very strong as well, defensively.
Yeah, defensively, but in a game where it's such fine margins, which we always talk about, I want more attacking wise. If we're so good at heading the ball and clearing the ball from our own box, you've got to have the same mindset. It's got to mean everything. It means everything to defend our goal. It has to mean everything in the opposition box. And I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything to our players, but they're good enough to execute those skills that we're trying to ask. We're probably asking for an awful lot in a short space of time in terms of this interview and off the back of that game. But it's not too often we've not scored. And like I say, if in a game like that against a good opposition, you still create a few chances. Sometimes it doesn't quite happen.
It's 11 games unbeaten now, and obviously 15 for them as well. It's going to be two sides that are pushing up there.
I think so. I think so. We couldn't separate us in the game at their place a month ago, and then exactly the same today. So, like I said, there's a lot to admire about Colchester. The way they promote their youth is similar to ourselves, but they've got some athletic players as well and some good players on the ball. So. Two good games against them. We're probably both a little bit disappointed that we've not took more points from each game, but they've been competitive games, and like I said, no one's took a backward step, and hopefully both teams are close to it near the end.